listeners. Welcome to our episode on this June 23rd, 2025, as we explore the path to calm. Stop overthinking, become present, find peace. Join us today for a journey towards inner tranquility and peace of mind. Today's featured book is The Health Habit, 27 Small Daily Changes for Physical Energy, Mental Peace, and Peak Performance by Nick Trenton. This book is one of the Mental and Emotional Abundance series books. Today's episode is Chapter 3 of this book, Focus and Mentality, What to Focus On. Once again, we're going to look at the power of your mindset and how it can fuel your journey towards a healthier and happier you. We'll look at the importance of shifting your focus to solutions rather than dwelling on problems, and how this approach is key to making sustainable changes. Also, we'll discuss the role of regular milestones and rewards in maintaining motivation, and how rewarding yourself should align with your new improved lifestyle. And additionally, we'll uncover the secret sauce behind successful diets. It's not just about following a philosophy, but adopting a dedicated mindset coupled with consistent action. We'll cover practical tips to preserve willpower and energy, and craft a personal manifesto that guides you towards healthier choices effortlessly. Get ready, as we're going to break down these concepts to empower your journey. You're probably noticing a pattern here. Real change takes awareness, dedication, and consistency. Becoming healthier is not a single event that happens once and never again. Rather, it's something we constantly work on. We stay dedicated, even when there are temptations all around. We stay dedicated, even when others try to undermine us. We stay dedicated, even when faced with our own blind spots, weaknesses, and bad habits. Starting with a structured, healthy morning routine and moving through the day with commitment and regular check-ins, we arrive at an essential part of the change process, our mindset. Whether you call it your attitude, your approach, your perception, or your mindset, the things that you choose to focus on will invariably be the things that end up dominating your life. It's really as simple as that. Focus on negativity, lack, and what you dislike, and you amplify these things in your life. Focus on the positive and what you can do to grow and learn, and that's what your life becomes filled with. Life changes when we take action to change it. Taking action comes from the goals we set. We form our goals because of what we focus on. Our focus is determined by our attitude or mindset, so the root of change then is the mindset. Why mindset matters. Our attitude is a narrative frame of reference that organizes how we think and feel, how we make sense of life, how we interpret events, and what we think is possible. It affects everything, including how we communicate, how we appraise risk, our response to adversity, and how we set goals. It goes a lot deeper than simply be positive, although, to be honest, being positive is a pretty good start. Staying optimistic and having a positive mindset. Being positive doesn't mean you ignore or downplay problems. It just means you keep your eyes and ears open for solutions to those problems, knowing that there's always something you can do to improve the situation. Your focus is on solutions, not problems. Being positive doesn't mean you're unrealistic either. It means you shift your focus from what can't be done and what isn't working to what can be done and what is working. If we fail or stumble, we ask how we can be better next time, rather than dwelling on the fact that we didn't make it this time. It's a matter, again, of focus. What you focus on becomes bigger. So, what do you want to focus on? Work on your mindset, and everything else follows. But if you have a negative mindset, it won't matter much that you do all the right things. The following are some tips for keeping a positive, empowered mindset as you make changes to your life. Tip 9. Have daily, weekly, and monthly milestones. Don't try to change everything at once. Instead, take all your energy and willpower and focus it into one or two big changes at a time so you can narrow down your attention on them and get things done more effectively and more easily. There are a ton of things you do every day right now without having to think about them. In time, you can make it so that you also do healthy, good habits every day in exactly the same way, automatically and without much effort. It's not enough to make a goal that will be achieved someday or set yourself a 5-year plan and then put your feet up. Your goals need to include short, medium, and long-term objectives, and you need to regularly give yourself the chance to reappraise them and adjust as you go. The more milestones, the better. Let's say you're trying to eat more fruit and veggies every day. Narrow your focus by deciding what this actually means. Narrow your focus by deciding what this actually means. How many servings? How many grams or ounces of fruit and veggies? What kind of fruit and veggies and when? And how will you eat them? Make specific and concrete goals. For example, you commit to eating some kind of fruit or veggies at every meal of the day for a week. Then, the week after, you give yourself the goal of 5 servings of a certain size. At the end of the month, your goal is to have an unbroken streak of days where you've consistently met your smaller goal. Let's tie this back to a positive mindset. The more you experience the sensation of achieving a goal, even a small one, the more encouraged and positive you'll feel about yourself. You'll be telling your unconscious mind that not only is this really possible, but that you're busy doing it right now. When you reach a milestone, pause to give yourself a pat on the back, acknowledging your hard work so that you cement it in your mind with praise and validation. Don't make the mistake of assuming that small goals don't mean much. They do. Think of it this way. If you have to wait and wait for months or years before you can celebrate your progress, aren't you going to get bored and unmotivated? Isn't your enthusiasm going to wane with time as you realize you keep working hard but for no reward? The trick then is to give yourself rewards. It's much easier to carry on your path with purpose and energy if you are regularly stopping to appreciate your progress and celebrate a little. This isn't permission to stop, of course, but it's encouragement to keep going. Count your fitness goals in small increments, like the number of push-ups, sit-ups, or steps done in one day. If you don't do well on one day, that's okay. You can still see an overall trend in the weekly or monthly average. Keep a visual track on these goals, like logging daily steps on a chart to monitor your progress and feel proud of your achievement. Seeing this log visually every day will keep you motivated. Plan a time at the end of each week or month, Sunday's work, where you can see how well you did and decide whether to set a new goal or adjust the current one. Tell others what your plans are so you feel supported and encouraged. They will also help you stay accountable to yourself and be there to celebrate with you when you achieve your goals. Tip 10. Healthy versus unhealthy rewards. So, praising yourself when you reach your milestones is great, but be careful. Rewards can be a slippery slope. If you train yourself to know that doing well earns you a reward, then naturally you're incentivized to do just so. What you don't want, however, is to become dependent on that reward, or worse, for that reward to be precisely the kind of bad habit or behavior that undoes all your hard work. The rationale behind a reward is to make the healthy behavior or habit seem more appealing, to increase its value in your eyes, and to make it more of an obvious choice. Sure, you could just force yourself to do right by sheer power of the will, but this takes a lot of effort, isn't sustainable, and just all around sucks for the person doing it. Rewards teach your brain that doing the healthy thing actually feels good, and that you want to do the healthy thing. You do this by making an association with the desired behavior and good feelings to make that behavior more attractive and repeatable in the future. I bet you can see now the wisdom of having small, more frequent opportunities for reward built in to celebrate every day. More opportunities to cement your desired behavior. Don't underestimate the value of simply praising yourself. Tell someone what you're proud of accomplishing. Bring yourself out a certificate to mark the pounds lost or miles jogged and hang it on the wall. Tell yourself out loud and to the mirror, you did a good job. Don't focus on your fixed characteristics, but on the effort and determination you put in, because those are the things that count and the things you want to encourage. This is where the possibility of change lies. Accumulate evidence of your achievements. Keep a whiteboard where you put a tick for every day you follow through on your healthy habit, or for every pound lost, or for every step closer to your goal, however you conceive it. Keep that visual reminder where you can see it, especially when you're feeling tempted to forget your commitment. Once you've achieved a goal, consider buying yourself a little present. Just make sure that it isn't an unhealthy snack, of course. If you're trying to eat better, think of treats like a luxurious kind of tea, a beautiful box of fresh berries, a new book, tickets to do something fun with people you love, a little potted plant. You get the picture. Rewards don't have to be material. If you worked hard, it's fine to take some time off and relax. If you can, take the day off. Go out somewhere new. Catch up on socializing with friends, or give yourself permission to indulge in a hobby. This is a chapter about mindset. The mindset you have when it comes to rewards and meeting goals matters a lot. Too many people fail in their diet and exercise plans because they think, consciously or unconsciously, that what they're doing is only temporary, or it's a bit like a punishment. As soon as they achieve their goal, they intend to go right back to what they were doing before, i.e., the reward of achieving their goals is to go right back to square one and pretend they haven't evolved. Can you see how illogical this is? If you see your efforts to improve yourself as a boring, painful slog, you won't be able to keep it up for long. If your heart's not in it, if you're doing it out of a sense of obligation, or don't even know why you're doing it, you're setting yourself up to fail. Remember that what you focus on becomes bigger. If you keep focusing on how annoying and difficult and scary change is, what do you think will happen? You'll convince yourself it's not worth it and stop. But if you frame your actions as a gift you're giving yourself, as a sign of self-respect, and as an exciting but challenging new adventure you're going on, that changes things completely. It's worth keeping an eye on your mindset. Keep telling yourself, I want to change. I'm not doing this for anyone but myself. I know it'll be challenging, but I can do it. It'll get easier. And so on. Don't complain or grumble. Don't act like others are forcing you to make changes. And when you have a reward, have it not because it's bribery to behave better, but because you're celebrating the awesome new person you're becoming. Tip 11, thinking about food. Let's be honest, you could fill this entire book talking about healthy eating and how to do it. Or you could read any of the seemingly billions of diet and nutrition books out there. Low carb, keto, vegan, intermittent fasting, Mediterranean, GI diet. There's no way of eating that someone hasn't claimed is the one true way. But that means there's a frustrating amount of conflicting and confusing advice out there for those of us who simply want to be healthier. Don't worry, I'm not about to tell you which diet is the ultimate perfect diet and shun all the others. The truth, they all work to some degree. What do all the different types of diets have in common? Think about it. They all recommend eating different foods at different times of day in different combinations for different reasons. Even though they're all quite different from each other, people can and do find great results. So, a high-carb vegan can lose weight and feel amazing eating a diet that's the exact opposite of a carnivorous, low-carb keto fanatic who eats once every 24 hours and also feels amazing. What do they have in common? Mindset. Not the same mindset, no, but they all share a commitment and a focus to following certain principles and the dedication needed to do that. They all rely on a degree of mindfulness about what is eaten and why, and a certain amount of conscious control over that. You can see where this is going. Your success with eating isn't about the kind of diet you follow per se, but about the discipline, dedication, and conscious intention that you bring to following it. That said, it's up to you to look honestly at where you are now, clarify where it is you want to go, choose a plan of action that suits your needs and limitations, and then commit to yourself that you will do what it takes to get there. The following are some ideas. Have a goal for each day's food intake. For a while, I found it helpful to focus on fruits and veggies. I kept a running tally of how many I was eating and tried to eat at least 5 servings a day from at least 3 color groups. Your goal could be to include a quality source of protein with each meal, or to consistently avoid refined carbohydrates. Counting calories is sometimes criticized, but it's still an easy and proven effective way to track your intake. Try what works for you. Install a phone or desktop app where you can log your food, or keep a written record. Have a food budget where you know not to go over a certain limit per meal, or you could have a rule such as never eat more than 600 calories per meal, or go over 1,000 calories by lunchtime. Piece together your own eating manifesto, a bit like a personal set of commandments tailored for you. It's your choice what you focus on. You may be more concerned about non-processed food, want to eat more nutritious things, or cut the volume of food you eat in general. Write this manifesto out and keep it somewhere visible, like on the fridge. As before, identify your weak spots and take action before you're faced with temptation. Google restaurants beforehand to find places that will serve you food you're happy with, or bring your own healthy food to a potluck, or offer to cook for everyone. Don't beat yourself up if you slip now and again. Don't turn a little mistake into a big one by thinking, well, I've messed up now. I might as well throw everything out the window. Expect that you will slip up sometimes. Forgive yourself quickly and just carry on. As soon as you can, take a concrete step in the right direction. You'll feel much better than if you wallow in self-criticism. Tip 12. Automate. When you're focused, you need to tune out a lot of unnecessary noise and stimuli and zoom in on just the thing you're most interested in. That's why discipline often comes with being able to resist temptation and distraction, to tune out irrelevant data and focus only on what's really important. At the start of your quest to live a healthier lifestyle, it can feel like the day is filled with wall-to-wall choices. You may feel like you have to reinvent the wheel with everything. The choice of what to eat, what not to eat, what activity to do, when to do it, can seriously drain your mental resources. But willpower is a finite quantity. If you blow it all on deciding what kind of breakfast cereal to buy at the store, you may feel so drained and decision fatigued that you later make a regrettable choice out of tiredness or impatience. One way to preserve your willpower resources and avoid analysis paralysis is to automate. This means taking as many of your choices as possible out of your hands. You want to build a life where you automatically do the right thing without having to think too much or spend too much effort. This frees you up to fight the big discipline monsters elsewhere. So, how do you automate? Let's look at an example of someone trying to drink more water in their daily lives. It's a hassle to saddle yourself with the constant thought of, I should drink more water, all throughout the day. It just takes up too much mental bandwidth. Instead, set a repeating reminder on your phone once that tells you to drink a big glass of water. Then, forget about it. You spend a tiny amount of effort one time, setting the alarm, versus relying on your memory and discipline again and again every day. You could also decide to put water bottles in literally every room of your home and in your car. Wherever you are, it's easy to drink. You can always see a water bottle, so you don't need to remember anything. So you idly take a sip. A little upfront effort means that you stick to your commitment and develop habits, all without having to use force or excessive discipline and willpower. The above can be done with other things you want to make sure you take, eat, or drink daily. Put vitamins next to your bed in plain view so you know to take them when you go to sleep or wake up. Or consider putting them next to your toothbrush. You don't forget to brush your teeth, right? If you're trying to eat more fruit and veggies in your life, have a mini fruit bowl on your desk at work. If you feel like a snack, it's far easier to just grab a nice apple or banana than get up, walk somewhere else, and potentially spend money to buy a less healthy snack. What you've done is made the desirable habit easier to perform than the undesirable habit. Now, this won't mean that you'll magically start wanting fruit and only fruit, but it will go a long way to cementing that behavior in your daily routine and making it more likely. Habits tend to form over the course of 3 weeks or more. Until a behavior is cemented as habit, it will take effort, concentration, and discipline to perform. Once the behavior is embedded as a habit, though, it takes far less effort or none at all. By using automation, you're making sure you keep doing the behavior during that crucial window period when it's not yet a habit. Ask yourself, how can I make the desired behavior as easy as possible? You could delegate. For example, give your cigarettes or unhealthy habits to someone else and tell them to hide them from you when trying to quit. The decision is out of your hands. Put up a non-negotiable barrier. Go to a cash bar, but without any cash if you're trying to stop yourself from drinking. Install an app on your laptop and phone that prevents you from browsing the internet after a certain hour to stop yourself wasting time online late at night and getting insomnia. Put a lock with a timer on your kitchen cupboards to stop yourself from rummaging around for a midnight snack. Connect the desired behavior to an already established habit. You always brush your teeth in the morning, so put your vitamins next to your toothbrush so you can take them right after you brush your teeth. You use the momentum of one habit to power a new one. There are no shortcuts, no, but automating gets the job done without you breaking too much of a sweat. It's about taking raw willpower out of the equation and letting your environment make some good choices for you on your behalf. Tip 13. Have a manifesto. In the same spirit of trying not to reinvent the wheel, let's consider another way to save time and effort. Have a personal set of rules. When you're trying to learn a new behavior and change your lifestyle, you're faced with choices. Cake or no cake? Gym or TV? Now, you could sit there each time and weigh up the pros and cons and make an informed decision, but this takes time, and as we've seen, will quickly deplete your energy. One way to automate your decision-making process is to have a set of rock-solid rules and principles. This is like making a decision once and then simply applying that every time you're faced with a new problem or situation. This simplifies things and takes away the need to analyze every fresh decision, not to mention give you less opportunity to dream up excuses. How should you behave? Simply follow the rules you've set for yourself. For a very simple example, you can set the rule, I don't do work for free. If a new client comes along and asks for free work, you simply say no and move on. No deliberation, no ifs and buts, just no and move on. Having such a manifesto is like having a behavioral operating manual for yourself that makes decisions for you. In the heat of the moment, you can convince yourself to go the wrong way. You can make up excuses. You can forget your commitment, and so on. But your manifesto, your list of rules, stays the same. It can be a relief to know that as long as you follow your own rules, you're on the right path. But don't stress the big picture. Just put your head down and focus on the task in front of you. A manifesto is also just the thing to help you set boundaries. I don't have second helpings of dinner. I don't answer work calls on the weekend. I don't say yes to a request if it means I have to undermine my own needs. I don't drink anything that's not water or tea. I don't maintain friendships with people who lie to me. I don't eat processed food. The above helps you conserve your resources, assert your boundaries, and be crystal clear about who you are and what you're committed to. People in situations will press on these boundaries, and let's face it, so will you. But they're always there, providing clarity and guidance. Take the time now to draw up your own personal 10 commandments when it comes to lifestyle. Think about the things you want to say yes to and the things you always want to refuse but may find difficult in the moment. Think about your values, principles, and the commitment you've made to yourself. Having a strong sense of focus and a healthy mindset mean being able to clearly identify what you care most about and having the courage to ignore or downplay the rest. Don't beat yourself up if you don't always manage to follow your own rules. These things take practice. Don't be afraid either of making updates as you go, but give yourself the chance to go out into the world with intact boundaries and principles and see what happens. Learning to say no, to put your foot down, or to forcefully turn your attention away from one thing and onto another takes time. But like any habit, it does get easier. And there you have it, folks. A journey toward a healthier life begins with a simple yet powerful mindset shift. As we often do, let's take a moment and review the key takeaways from the episode we just heard. When making improvements to your life, your focused and positive mindset is one of your greatest assets. Rather than being blindly positive, you can simply become aware of where your focus and attention are going and what you're choosing to create for yourself. Focus on solutions, not problems. Make it work. Regular milestones are necessary to keep up your motivation and focus. Schedule mini milestones or rewards daily, weekly, or monthly. Take time to acknowledge the progress. When rewarding yourself, do so in a way that doesn't undermine your progress. Remember that you're celebrating your better self, and rewards should help you enjoy your healthier life, not pull you back to your old unhealthy life. All diet philosophies have some value. What makes them work is your positive mindset, your dedication, and your consistent action. Whatever diet you choose, it will succeed if you practice some form of control and if you're mindful of your consumption. Willpower and energy are finite. To preserve them, automate certain choices so it's easy to automatically make the right choice and harder to make the wrong one. Piece together a personal, healthy living manifesto of rules that help you decide on how to act. This helps you set boundaries, banish excuses, and turn down temptation. And we'll close out this episode with a quote from the famous, legendary Muhammad Ali. Champions aren't made in gyms. Champions are made from something they have deep inside them. A desire, a dream, a vision.